Welcome. Online learning is like a guided tour. The tour guide is the facilitator, and the learners understand this is their journey at their own pace and at their own time. The following video series examines my learning on the guided tour of educational technology. The series includes reflections on learning, the art and science of teaching, the design and evaluation of instruction, networking and collaboration, and finally, the research-practice connection. Welcome to my reflective video on learning. Learning is an active, social, and authentic process. People are motivated to learn when they interact with concepts or content, when they interact with peers, when they reflect on something that they have experienced, or when they are completing tasks that are relevant to them. I've developed over the course of my time at EdTech several different types of learning. Here are 3 examples. The first example is my Padlet demo. Padlet is a virtual corkboard. It allows you to express your ideas, such as here. You can add images to those ideas or multimedia, any type of URL that you would like. You can go ahead and organize these how you would like and share them with other people. This allows Padlet to be not just a concept mapping tool, but it's also a collaboration tool so that people can share ideas before putting them into a more formal presentation. My next example is my web quest. I did my web quest on this issue of school choice. I asked students to review the pros and cons of the school choice issue, discuss them with their peers on a discussion board, and finally create a paper that proposed solutions to the school choice issue. This allowed people not only to collaborate through the discussion board, but they also had to logically and reasonably come to a conclusion and propose a solution for the school choice issue. Finally, my M-Learning course was a field trip to a local farm. These German students were divided into several groups, asked to take these German words that are all related to the farm, look up the German word on their phone, and translate these words into English. They were then, when they found these items on the farm, to take a photo of them and send them or text them to their instructor. This allowed a collaborative environment that would help reinforce not just the motivation, but also the learning. Thank you very much for watching this video reflection of learning.
Welcome
Stay
to my
tuned
video
for
on
my next
networking
video
and
on
collaboration.
the art and science of Welcome to my video reflection on the art and science of teaching. In my EdTech 522 reflection, I likened adult online learning to a world-guided tour. The tour guide is the facilitator who's responsible for providing a supportive environment.
Many companies
in
are
many
now
ways, this
having
mimics today's
virtually
virtually
located
located
as
as students
collaborating
companies are
together
now
to produce
produce their
product.
learning.
Virtually
Making
located.
This will help many
for
collaborators
learning.
together to
Move
produce
into
product.
business
Student
world.
assessment
This
is
will
also
help
many
many
examples of
students
networking
stay
and collaboration
using
technology
technology
practice
skills.
can share.
Here are some examples
First
of
example
networking
here
and
is
collaboration
my
from my
M-Learning,
EdTech
how much
product.
they have learned in
I
defend
split
first
a group
example
of beginning
is
German
presentations
students
and
into
demonstrations
two.
also
I
help
split
to
a group
regain
of
confidence
beginning German
to
negotiation
into
skills.
vocabulary
Here are
words,
some
two or
examples
three
of
listed
teaching
here
and assessment
review
on
from
a
my
trip
EdTech
vocabulary
to
words, which are
working
listed
farm.
here.
First example is
On
they
a
needed
trip
to
that they were
use
taking
their phones
facilitation
to
in
be
the
able to
adult
look
farm
up the
classroom,
German word,
which
they
was
needed to
created
use their
in
phone
an
to
English
be able to
equivalent
look up
to
the German word,
and
then
multiple sources
when they
there,
found the
found the
English
English
equivalent
equivalent
on the
can
farm, take a picture of
understand
it,
how
and
to
label
when they
it, found
show
the
a
English
textual
equivalent
presence
on
in
the
the farm
farm
to
to
their
their instructor,
instructor,
and then use
label it
open-ended
and
questions
text
also
send it
a
to
collaborative
their
instructor.
instructor,
My
and
Zoho Wiki.
Also,
Also,
demonstration.
collaborative environment
Wikis
is
are
my Zoho
in
Wiki.
by their very nature collaborative, and they work very well, especially when information
by
is
their
changing
very
quickly.
nature collaborative.
Using
and they
Adobe
work
Connect,
very well,
I've been
especially
able
when
to help
information is
students
changing
more
quickly.
comfortable moving
Using
the
Adobe
from
Connect,
face-to-face
I've been able
classroom
to
to
do this
virtual
virtual
using
classroom
color
adjust
and
from the
in
many
many
ways
ways
I've
I've
had
had
this
this
set
set
up
up
so
so
that
that
it's
it's
almost
almost
just
just
like
like
a
a
true
true
in many
virtual
ways
classroom.
I've had this
I
set
also
up
asked
so
my
that it's
demos
on
of
the
the
wiki
teachers
like
and
a
their
true
parents
virtual
going through the
classroom.
tabs and what it
There's
does.
my demo. This is me doing the lesson, going through the tabs. This is a chat area. This is me doing the lesson. Or this is a chat area. They can add notes, can ask questions, and they can also share video over here. Add notes in order to, and they can also. Welcome to my reflective video on the design and evaluation of instruction. Design is like working on a jigsaw puzzle. You bring home the box with the puzzle, there's a beautiful picture on the front, and you open it up and none of the pieces are interlocking. These pieces represent a variety of things like needs assessments, content, and also evaluation. In order to bring these pieces together, you need to do a lot of research, you need to do a lot of evaluating and planning in order to bring the pieces together just for the first course. After you get feedback from the first course participants, you have to modify the course again to better meet the needs of the students. I'm very familiar with this process. I do this all the time as a technical writer. For my EdTech example, I'm bringing in my EdTech 503, where I did a mini genealogy course. This is my learning task representation. This is the objectives of the course. These are the goals, again, pieces of the puzzle. And for each one of these colors, here is all how the puzzle pieces fit. This will allow the facilitator to be able to see what they need to do for the class, but in addition, if the class needs to be modified in some way, they will be able to do so easily, starting with the objective statement and then modifying this chart. My second example of practice is my ARCS table for this particular class. This table allows the facilitator to understand what will motivate the students, get their attention, and help them understand the relevance of this material to their learning. Finally, for the evaluation, this is an example of the student evaluation for this mini genealogy course. It's a combination of open-ended and closed-ended questions that the facilitator and the instructional designer can use together to be able to make improvements to the course as needed. There's also an additional evaluation survey for the facilitator and for the subject matter experts. Thank you for watching this reflective video on design and evaluation, and I look forward to seeing you for my next reflective video on networking and collaboration. Welcome to my video on networking and collaboration. Students work best when they work together in teams. It allows them to be able to share knowledge with others, test hypotheses, get critiques from their peers, and are also able to learn negotiation and confidence skills. In many ways, this mimics today's business environment, as many companies are now having teams virtually located, collaborating together to produce product. This will help many students as they move into the business world. Here are some examples of networking and collaboration from my EdTech practice. The first example is my M-Learning product. I split a group of beginning German students into groups of 2 or 3. They needed to review the vocabulary words, which are listed here, on a trip that they were taking to a working farm. They needed to use their phones to be able to look up the German word, which was listed here, find the English equivalent, and then when they found the English equivalent on the farm, take a picture of it, label it, and text or send it to their instructor. Also, a collaborative environment is my Zoho Wiki demonstration. Wikis are by their very nature collaborative, and they work very well, especially when information is changing quickly. Using Adobe Connect, I've been able to help students who are uncomfortable moving from the face-to-face classroom to the virtual classroom adjust. In many ways, I've had this set up so that it is almost like a true virtual classroom. Here is my demo of the wiki and going through the tabs and what it does. This is me doing the lesson. This is a chat area so that students can ask questions of me or of each other. They can add notes, And they can also share video over here in order to complete their learning. I hope you've enjoyed this video on networking and collaboration. Stay tuned for my next video on the research practice connection. Welcome to my video on the research practice connection. The research practice connection can be quite complex. The translation between research to practice is not always simple. A lot depends on the context of the content as well as the practices of the school district. In the constructivist classroom, however, the bond between research and practice is strong. Both are student-centric. The learner is allowed to focus on information that is most important to them and are responsible for the breadth and depth of their learning. Here are some examples of the research practice connection from my EdTech practice. The first example is my virtual tour of European castles. Right here on the first page, you get an idea of exactly what the content is. You've got the flags for the 5 castles, the countries that they're in, questions, and in the middle you have a large pane giving you the objectives and goals for this class. For each castle, we have a brief fact about the castle, in a little blurb about what is in the castle and how the castle works, and then finally you click this link and you get a tour below for the castle. This adds to the feel of a real tour. It gives you an idea of the practices and the customs of the people of this area. My second example is from Introducing Scotties. This is a brief introduction to the Scottish Terrier breed, and it discusses temperament, illnesses, and a wide variety of information about Scotties, and is important for people who are considering adding a Scottie to their family. Each one of these images is a link to further information. For example, here we have considerations from the Scottish Terrier Rescue Northwest. Thank you so much for watching this video on the research practice connection, and also thank you for helping me to share my learning and experiences in EdTech with you.